I want to wish everybody in Las Vegas a happy Passover, or if you're celebrating Easter on Sunday, a very, very happy Easter. The city is a very, very diverse city, and we welcome everybody of all religions, all cultures, all backgrounds, because I think it just adds to the richness of our community. So very happy that this is a wonderful holiday season. You may be wondering what all of this stuff is behind me and to the left of me. Recently, I happened to be at Reed International Airport, and as you know, our TSA workers have been working for the last couple of months without getting paid. And in addition to thanking them profusely for keeping Las Vegas open, because there's only two ways to get to Las Vegas. You're going to drive in or you're going to fly in. And our workers have been stellar getting people through the lines, and they're doing it without pay. But I kept thinking, thanking them is lovely, but what can we do that's going to actually help them until Congress does their job and passes a Homeland Security bill, which will fund our TSA workers. And so I spoke with Mike Naft, who's my counterpart in the county, and he said that the county has a room at the airport and we're stocking with gift cards and diapers and paper products and non-perishable items. And I said to him, the city wants to help as well, and we want to thank our TSA workers in a very positive way. So all of our city employees have received a notice that we're doing this, and as you could see, we're collecting items. Gift cards are particularly welcome, and on April 6th, we will be delivering all of the items that our city employees are donating to our fellow citizens who are working for pay and keeping all of our businesses open. So we're very, very grateful for that. On April 22nd is my second State of the City address. Like last year, it's going to be at the Smith Center, and you need to RSVP in order to come, because we'll have to manage the crowds, and hopefully there will be crowds. If you cannot attend in person, and I know most people are very busy working and taking care of their families, and they can't break away to join in person, but it will be live on YouTube. So if you want to see what's happening in the city, please tune in on YouTube to hear what the latest is when it comes to what we're doing here in the city. And we're very excited about this, and very excited about the what's going on here in the city, and I'll share it with all of our fellow citizens. As you probably know, there is a live ongoing animal cruelty investigation. Apparently, there's a company that had 35 dogs, and they were being abused, or they've been accused of being abused. Metro, along with the city and county animal control people, went, investigated, took the animals, took the dogs, and they are now, the 35 of them are now at the animal shelter, safe and sound. I won't go into detail because this is an ongoing investigation, but 2 people have been arrested for animal cruelty. And I am very, very pleased that the city was able to participate and save these animals. If you are in need of a pet at home, please go to the animal shelter. They have wonderful pets available for adoption, and we encourage you to do that. In addition to that, and I'll just tell you that we did a pause, that's PAWS, pause on the Plaza event this past Saturday, where the animal shelter partnered with the city of Las Vegas. We were able to have a number of dogs that were at the animal shelter adopted and one fostered, and we're very, very happy about that. I think it was a great success. Weather was very cooperative, although a little bit warm, but I took every ounce of self-control I had not to adopt one of these little pets. They were adorable and friendly and loving, and I'm just so pleased that people came out for that, and that we got some of these lovely animals. We found them forever homes, and so I will wait for the final report from the Animal Foundation, but we're very pleased about that. And with that, let me just open it up for any questions that the press has, and I'm very happy to see you again. Hi. As you know, our city council meeting was yesterday. It was unusually long for the, we do 2 city council meetings a month, one first Wednesday and third Wednesday of the month. Usually the first Wednesday is a short meeting. Not so. We had a lot of information, a lot of presentations, and I hope you will ask me some questions about that. So you want to start?
Yes, of course. I actually want to first go back into the Metro animal cruelty case. With that being said, is it also a pleasing moment knowing that we do have REBA's law that is in place now, and there are stricter penalties and laws in place when it comes to cases like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, it boggles my mind how any thinking, intelligent human being can do this to an animal that cannot defend itself, has no way of protecting itself. How do you abuse an animal like that? And oftentimes, as you know, and I've said this very often, we're dealing with bad human behavior. And anything we can do to protect these animals, I am all for it. As you know, the city has been very engaged with animal protection issues, working with the Animal Foundation and all of the other rescues in town, Hearts Alive, Heaven Can Wait, the Nevada SPCA. We want to make sure that not only is Las Vegas a good place for humans to live, it's a good place for our pets to live as well.
100%. And then additionally, you were talking about TSA, and then you brought up like flying, driving, and then it brought up another point. When I think about driving, I'm thinking about gas prices. And that's something that is very important to people now, especially as we're starting to see a spike. Just nationally, the average went above just $4. We already know here in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada, we are already seeing those prices. I just went to the gas station, it's $4.99.
If you go across the street, when I was driving into City Hall today, it's over $5.
Which is crazy. So
crazy.
What can you say to people within Las Vegas when it comes to gas prices? Is there any sort of relief or anything that we're doing?
Look, it's we can't control right now what's going on in the federal level. After the president's speech last night, I understand oil went up another $10 just overnight. It's a tough situation. We rely on low gas prices to get people here, and even, TSA aside, if you are paying more, if the airlines are paying more for fuel, then all of the cost of coming to Las Vegas by air is going to go up too. And so this is a very serious problem for a community that depends on tourism, depends on people coming here. I heard there was some report in the news that gas is up to $4. I've been searching for a $4 a gallon gas station, and I haven't found one. So the last time I gassed up was last week, and it was very close to 5. And so, I'm just hoping that we can resolve what's happening in the Middle East as quickly as possible, and that gas prices will start going down. I think it's going to take a while to get down to what we're accustomed to, but this, so far we're okay, but this is also contributing to people thinking twice before they come to Las Vegas or going anywhere for that matter. So I know how difficult this is. Look, I've got kids. I'm luckily in a position that if I have to pay $5 a gallon, I can. But I've got 4 kids, and they have little ones, and it's hard on family budgets, and for some families, it's devastating. And so I would like this resolved as quickly as possible.
I was going to say, going further into that, because there are families and people who are out there that can afford that amount when it comes to $4.50 per gallon, $4.70 per gallon. Is there anything that maybe you guys think you might do in the future? Anything when it comes to public transportation, with RTC helping out people in that sort of fashion?
Well, as you know, RTC, I sit on the Regional Transportation Board. We have a meeting coming up next week. Perhaps that's something that we should be discussing. It is a very challenging time for families. There's no doubt about that.
And then going further into tourism, Las Vegas is certainly going to be seeing it a lot with the fact that we just announced we're going to be having the Super Bowl here, hosting it at Allegiant Stadium in 2029. What are your thoughts when it comes to this right now? We already saw a Super Bowl in 2024, and the fact that they want to come back to Las Vegas, how does that make you feel?
I couldn't be more excited. I think it's great. And look, I love the Raiders, but I'm naturally not a football person. But the fact that they chose to have the Super Bowl again here in Las Vegas, I know it was a great success. They know we do it right. We're very accustomed to large events. We've got enough hotel rooms to accommodate everybody. This is a town that knows how to put on a great party. And I couldn't be more excited and pleased about that.
What about for small businesses? Because we talked to them before, and they love the fact of like when the engagement that they get when a Super Bowl comes. However, they did say to us before that they're hoping to get more and be more involved in like the actual event itself. Do you think that's something that
the organizers will look? The Convention Authority is very good at these sorts of things, and I also sit on the Convention Authority board. It would make good sense, and I think the Convention Authority knows that the more residents, the more people, the more businesses that you include in the decision-making processes as we move forward, the more successful the Super Bowl is going to be, or any event for that matter. So I certainly would voice my opinion that that's the best way to go, but I think they've got this down, and you're absolutely right. Everyone should feel that they're a part of this. It's a part of the success of our community, and and of course on Super Bowl Sunday we'll all be watching. I won't be there like most other people, but I'm sure going to be enjoying it from the comfort of my my family room sofa, along with the rest of my family.
I'm telling you, you got to go. I'm just saying.
I'm going to make an announcement because I try. You know, I don't take freebies. I always pay my own way. I will say right now, if the Raiders are in the Super Bowl, I will be there and I will pay for my own extravagantly expensive ticket.
Love it. And you know what? We're going to go from NFL now to NBA.
Oh, yes.
The announcement about an NBA team coming to Las Vegas in 2028. This is huge.
Huge.
So what are your thoughts right now?
Oh, I couldn't be more pleased. When I was a kid, I come from a basketball family, and my dad, and this is for old timers that might be listening to this press conference, my dad used to play pickup ball in the summers in upstate New York with a very, very famous player of old, a man named Bob Cousy. So I grew up hearing, watching the NBA on television with my dad, and those are some of the most special remembrances I have of him. I am thrilled. My predecessor, Oscar, thought this was so important for the future of Las Vegas and tourism here, and I couldn't be more pleased. Next week, I have a Zoom meeting with Adam Silver, who's the head of the NBA, and I want to welcome him, tell him about my basketball past, and I just know this is going to be so extraordinary for our city. When I was a kid growing up here, the idea that there would be any sports team, a professional sports team, was not possible, wasn't ever going to happen, no way, no how, and now we're home to soccer and soon to be baseball and football and the Aces, and now we're going to get an NBA team. I love it, and it's can only do good for the city.
can you give us maybe a little bit of a preview as to what questions you guys might be, or what you guys might be talking about, you and Adam Silver, in that
Well,
discussion?
actually, yes, I know they're considering a number of locations. I'm not sure they are considering a location in Las Vegas. They're all in the county. And look, I don't have a problem with that. Whatever is happening in the county with T-Mobile or Allegiant, or a fabulous, fabulous stadium, and what's going to happen with the A's and their stadium on Trop, we have an alternative. And I'd like to propose it to them to see if they would even come down and see it for themselves. Right across the street, there's 20 acres near the market center, and it's near a freeway. It won't be as congested on the Strip, and I think it's an alternative that they may want to examine, and I'm not sure anybody has proposed it yet. So that is something that, in addition to meeting Adam Silver, because I've never met him before, inviting him up to the mayor's office next time he's in town, so I could get to know him, let him know how supportive the city of Las Vegas is, and also suggest that he might want to look right across the street from City Hall and see what we've got to offer.
This is going to be a really important relationship partnership for the next couple of years. It also kind of feels like this is not a transition, but an addition to Vegas being this entertainment capital of the world, being now a sports capital of the world.
We're the gaming capital of the world, the entertainment capital of the world, the wedding capital of the world, a sports capital of the world, and I think this is a marriage that's going to be made in heaven.
My next question goes a little bit, just to go a little bit offbeat now, goes into tiny homes.
Oh, yes.
We just had that whole entire thing about that new development when it comes to tiny homes. Do you think this is a transitional time when it comes to Vegas and incorporating those, and also helping combat the crisis that we do see, which is affordable housing? I
love it. Before I became mayor and after I was in Congress, I was the CEO and senior provost of Touro University Medical School. I don't think a lot of people know that not only did I run the one here in Southern Nevada, but there was another Touro that I ran in Vallejo, California, which is in upstate. So I went back and forth every week so that I could be present on both campuses, and I just think it's, I got to tell you, I got into so much information in the weeds, I lost your question. What was the purpose of your question?
It was about the tiny homes.
Oh, yeah, so there were tiny homes on the Touro property, and the first time, they looked very small from the outside, and then I had occasion to walk in. I was blown away by how perfect they were. Now, obviously, if you've got a family of 12, tiny homes is not your option. And I'm a little bit past the tiny home stage in my life, but there were times that would have been a perfect place. It's yours, and it's perfect. And so I think it's a great option. I was very supportive when the gentleman who is building this tiny home neighborhood came to see me. I was supportive from the beginning. It satisfies everything that the city of Las Vegas is talking about. Ever since I started campaigning for mayor, people were talking to me about tiny homes and introducing tiny homes to Las Vegas, which made good sense. Also, the city is now building up because we don't have that much land available, so infill, and this is in a perfect location down by Eastern and 23rd, and so that's fantastic, and it also satisfies the need to support. We have to have options in all income brackets, and this is going to be a perfect option. And I don't know whether you were watching the city council meeting yesterday. We must have had about 20 people come and speak. No one coming in to say no, but about 20 people coming in to say that this is a wonderful idea and they would like the opportunity to have the option to move to a tiny home. So I think this is a win-win-win for everybody.
Going into the fact that there are so many people who are on board with this, for future plans for the city, do you see the city sponsoring tiny homes in the future? Any city program when it comes to this as well?
Well, let's see how this works out. I think that it's going to be a tremendous asset for the city and fill a niche that we need to fill, and then we could proceed from there. But I'm very high on tiny homes.
I want to go also into the fact that this helps so many different people, especially with tiny homes and helping people of all income brackets. It kind of brings me into another topic that we also have discussed multiple times, and it goes into homelessness. And I want to ask you, how are we doing in combating this crisis right now? I know before, back in last year, we had talked about addressing homelessness in Las Vegas, and more of a comprehensive strategy would be announced mid-2026. Do we have any sort of preview when it comes to that strategy?
I'm so happy you asked me that question, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background. After I was sworn in, about this time a year ago, I got a call from Mayor Bloomberg's of New York's foundation, and his foundation has a partnership with Harvard, and every year they invite 40 to 50 mayors from across the globe to participate in their mayor's program. And I said, well, initially I said, well, I'm very flattered that you would ask, but I'm new at the job. I have a lot of learning to do, so I don't think I could take anything on right now. And they said, well, you've already been accepted into the program, so you might as well apply. Okay, so I went ahead and did it. I am thrilled that I had an opportunity. One of the things you needed to do initially was provide information about your most challenging issue. For me, it's homelessness. So I have been the beneficiary of this extraordinary program where we are getting the best expertise in the country from Harvard, and it's included. It's not only for the mayor, the city manager, and the woman, Shelley, that's in charge of homelessness, is one of her many tasks in the city. They've been involved. Then we were asked to come up with a committee of 7 employees that can work with Harvard and Bloomberg to come up with a proposal. And we will be, so we have been very actively engaged in this for this year. I will be rolling out our plan at my State of the City address, so I'm hoping you will be there to cover it. Now, do I know if this is going to work? I don't. I don't have a crystal ball, and unfortunately, I don't have a money tree in my backyard. But we need to look at homelessness in a different way. And as you know, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, for me, I don't believe any human being should be living on the streets. It's inhuman. It's not healthy. It's dangerous. There's nothing good about living on the streets. And the city, quite honestly, is spending a fortune on homeless services and doing the best that we can. As you know, the courtyard is our low barrier shelter. It does a lot of good, but there are still a lot of challenges there. We have a MORE team that goes out and interacts with the homeless, tries to get them off the street and get services. But we've taken a more comprehensive approach now, and hopefully it will help. Do I believe that I'll get everybody living on the streets off the streets? No. I mean, I've been in public office since 1983. I have no illusions about doing things easily. It's a very challenging problem. Also, mental health issues, addiction issues, you name it. But I think that we're going to propose this, have a pilot program, and if it works, we'll expand it throughout the city. We're going to start small, see if it's successful, and then we'll have something, and I hope it'll become the prototype for the rest of the nation. Don't know any of this, but I'm hopeful.
And then my last question for you goes into your State of the City address, and that is, what, other than homelessness, what are those other top 3 topics that you will be addressing to people within our city?
You know, it's funny because this Sunday, I usually do 7-day weeks. I just do. This past weekend, I took Sunday off so I could sit at my kitchen counter and actually write my State of the City address, and I still write it out longhand. It's an old law school habit that I still have. So I finished the first draft, and I've gone over it a few times. It is very, oh my God, detail intense, and I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit so that people aren't passing out while I'm presenting it. So I can't tell you right now, and I don't think I want to tip my hand, but it's going to be a pretty comprehensive address about what's going on in the city. Everything from the Arts District to Symphony Park, and it's just medical district. There's a lot going on in the city. And I will be presenting that to everybody. And again, my challenge is not information. It's like too much information. And so I want to make it user-friendly, where people that are listening to it aren't falling asleep. But I'll try to do my best to liven it up. But that's where I'm planning to unroll it. But definitely homelessness. And again, when you're writing something like this, you have to figure out homelessness is the biggest issue. Do I put it at the front of the speech? Do I put it at the back of the speech? And so I'm trying to come up with a sequence that is going to be easy to listen to and get all the information out that I want to.
I'm sure you will.
I'll do my best. Is there anything left to discuss?
In regards to the TSA, with these items, Randy, could you expand on that a little bit? Is this something that the city is doing? You're taking donations from employees?
Yes.
Can the public jump in on that? What are we doing? It seems like there's a box that's either a donation box or that's the box that they'll receive. Can you just expand on that?
If I could see, I know that the county, from the beginning of this closure, has been engaged in providing resources for the TSA. City is coming on now. We want to be a helpmate, not only to the county, because I think what they're doing is great, but to the TSA workers that, again, are working for free. So I believe if you go online, to Reed International Airport, I'm 99.9% sure that on their website, they're explaining to people what they can do to help the TSA workers. And I know that the Convention Authority is providing gas cards, which right now I'm sure is going to come in very handy. County is collecting products to give them. I know that they're specifically asking for diapers, paper products, and non-perishables. And I think lunch is being provided for the TSA workers, help them out a little bit more. But this is just for city employees, but I can't imagine that the airport doesn't have a website that explains how the public can help.
Have the TSA employees, as far as you're aware, received a paycheck since the president signed?
It is no, they have not. They have not. And now I understand, maybe as we are speaking, the Senate is repassing their legislation. Then, as you know, Congress is on recess right now, and I don't know whether they're going to wait until recess is over, which of course is after Easter, to bring everybody back, or they're going to say everybody come back tomorrow because we're going to we have to pass this legislation. But it's got to come back to as you all know from your government classes, it's got to pass both houses in the exact same form. And right now, I understand that the Speaker and the Majority Leader have come together to agree to pass something. But now Mike Johnson, the Speaker, has got to get all of his members in line. And I understand that's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Last one that I have, moving over to the tiny homes. Are there going to be specific or strict qualifications for people to get those tiny homes?
Oh, interesting. You should ask. It's my understanding that these are rental properties, and that, like everybody else, they will go and apply to rent a tiny home. The gentleman that is building this project has a lot of affordable housing apartments in that general area, and I think that he knows what he's doing. And after all, this is private, so the city, this is not a city project. We approved it, but this is a private project, and they will have their qualifications in I guess, their rental agreements.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yes, and again, happy Passover, everybody, and happy Easter.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming. Okay. And where's my stuff? I brought stuff. I don't know. Where's my stuff?
We arranged some stuff behind you,
Oh,
so your
good,
stuff
okay.
might be behind us too.
Oh, okay, yes, I see it. Okay.
Did you bring gift cards?
I did.
They're
I
right-
did.
they're right here.
Okay,
Don't worry,
all
ma'am.
right. Get $50 gift cards. I got them at Smart and Final, and that's just help these people out. I mean, I know everybody's having a tough time right now, but imagine working without a paycheck, and that kind of gives me the impetus to help a little bit more. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody.